I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video, we will summarize our learnings about independent events and follow it up with some examples. If two events A and B do not influence one another, that means they are independent, then the probability that both one and the other can happen is probability of A and B equals to product of probabilities of A and B, right? That's the way it is. So if we have independent events, which means one event is not influenced by the other, then the probability of both to happen is product of their own probabilities. That is what it is. Let's try to elaborate on this and understand using some examples. First one here is a coin is flipped and a die is rolled. What is the probability of flipping a head and rolling 6 in a single trial? Now clearly, flipping a coin does not affect the results of rolling a die, right? So therefore, these are independent events. So they qualify for independent events, right? So now let's look into the probability of the coin. So it says, what is the probability of flipping a head? That means probability of flipping a head. We know it is half because a coin has two sides, heads or tails, 1 out of 2. And what is the probability of rolling 6 in a single trial? Rolling 6 on a die, we have 6 numbers, 1 out of 6, right? So let me write rolling 6 is 1 out of 6. Now when we have probability of both, that is to say, let me write down the result as probability of head and the number 6, correct? And the number 6 is product of these two, half times 1 over 6, which is 1 over 12. So that is how you can solve such probability equations. The next one is a die is rolled 3 times. What is the probability that you get 1 in the first roll, 2 in the second, and 3 in the third? So whenever you roll a die, it doesn't influence the next result. You again roll the die, right? Again, it could fall on any face out of those 6. So in these 3 trials, what is the probability of getting 1 and then 2 and then 3? So it is product of getting 1 times product of getting 2 and times product of getting 3. So in a die, it has 6 faces, right? When we talking about this die, we're talking about this die, right? Just 6 faces, correct? Now, I mean, we could write like this, okay. So the probability of each is 1 out of 6. So it will be 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6, and that is 1. You can multiply 6 times 6 times 6, so we'll do 6 cube, okay, 6 times 6 times 6 equals to 216. So that is the result, 6 to the power of 3. Next question is, a coin is flipped 2 times and it turns up head. So you flip it 2 times, it turns up head each time. What is the probability that the third flip will be head? And that's the question for you. Now let's read it very carefully. What are we asking for? We are saying what is the probability that the third flip will be head? And before that, we're given some information. A coin is flipped 2 times and it turns up head each time. Well, whenever we are working with coins, if not specified, we are looking for a fair coin, right? So it is a fair coin. So probability of getting head or tail is like 50-50. Is it okay? Now here you can clearly see that flipping the coin each time does not influence the result of the next time, right? Therefore, these are independent events, right? These are all independent events. We are only interested in finding what is the probability that the third flip will be a head. Well, the third flip will be head. Probability is half, since the first two do not influence the third, right? So that is the answer for you. I hope that makes it clear. So part C is kind of tricky, just to, make you understand that once you have a situation like this, you should be very clear in mind what are you given and what you need to answer for. I'm Anil Kumar, and I hope that helps. Thank you and all the best.